They've played 3 times since Louisville joined the ACC in 2014. Matter of fact, it was Louisville's first ACC game in 14, a win over Miami. In Louisville, Miami has won the last 2. Here in 2019, in Louisville in 2020. Jeff Brom won the toss. He deferred. And Travelstead's kickoff. Returned to the 23-yard line by Rashard Smith. So Tyler Van Dyke is back, Molly McGrath.
Yeah, that's right, Sean. And Tyler Van Dyke really won over his team with his response to last week's benching. In a leadership meeting on Monday, he took ownership for his poor play and promised to be better and to have more fun out there. And wide receiver Jacoby George told us that you wouldn't expect this kind of passion and energy from someone who just lost his starting job to a freshman. He said, we can all feel there's something different about Tyler this week. It lit a fire under him, and we have full trust in our quarterback. Guys.
Junior from Glastonbury, Connecticut. Primary start of the last 2 years. Given a good pocket. He takes off running and dives to the 30 for a gain of 7 on the first play from scrimmage. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country, as you said, Greg, at the start of the year when they went off to a 4-0 record and a top 20 ranking. But the last 5, including that brief appearance at the end of last week's game, 11 interceptions. One of those at desperation time in Tallahassee last Saturday. Mark Fletcher is the freshman running back, hit behind the line of scrimmage by Jalen Alderman. A linebacker for Louisville, one of the best defensive teams in the country, giving up 17 points per game, 12th best in the nation.
And they are excellent against the run. Just 92 yards a game given up on the ground. That's in the top 10 defensively across the country. And on first down, Van Dyke already showing some of that decisiveness that he has to show today, taking off. Not something he does very often if nothing's there.
They put Rashard Smith in as the Wildcat quarterback. The Rick snap to him, and he got rocked. Louisville ready for it, stuffed it for a loss of a foot or 2. And Miami will send the punt team on after a quick 3-and-out.
And it's Ben Perry unblocked on the right side. The pulling guards cannot get around. That was totally disrupted up front by the defensive line. Ben Perry makes the play at the line of scrimmage and forces the 3-and-out.
Dylan Joyce on to punt. True freshman from Australia. And Kevin Coleman back deep. Line drive kick caught at the 27. And a 4-yard return for Coleman. So here's Jack Plummer. They haven't asked him to do a lot lately. Senior quarterback from Gilbert, Arizona. First year at Louisville. Was with Jeff Brom for 4 years at Purdue. Started 13 games there. Last year at Cal, where he was the starter. And went 4-8. Now here at Louisville. Trying to take them to the ACC title game for the first time. As we said, they've been pounding the run the last 3 games. Better than 2-to-1 run-to-pass ratio, and as a result, they've turned it over only 1 time in the last 3. Jawar Jordan driven back after a 2-yard pickup. Here's Molly.
Well, Sean, Louisville's 2 most explosive players, Jawar Jordan and wide receiver Jamari Thrash, battling injuries. Jordan sustained a knee injury a couple weeks ago, told us he's still dealing with lingering pain and soreness, but it doesn't limit his movement. And Thrash recovering from a left hand injury. Looks like there's some extra pad in his left glove to help with some pain he's experiencing.
As you know from talking to Thrash, it hurts every time that ball hits him in the left hand. He's been wearing that extra padding. Nate Kariski, the tight end, with the catch. And Greg, that's big because their playmakers on offense far and away are Jordan, with more help lately from Garendo, and Thrash at wide receiver.
And Thrash is excellent with the ball in his hands after the catch, but he has had some drops recently. You have to assume that that injury to his hand has factored into some of the inconsistency catching the football.
They go to the pistol with Jawar Jordan, still the running back. They faked it to him. Wide open, Amari Huggins Bruce. He's one of those they think can provide more help out wide in support of Plummer and Thrash. That's an 18-yard gain.
And a lot of what Louisville is going to have to do defensively is misdirection. It's a very aggressive Miami defense, and they have good speed at wide receiver. They get Huggins-Bruce across the line of scrimmage, hit him in the flat for a nice gain.
18 yards. Huggins-Bruce has great speed. They'll try to get him deep today. Here's Thrash. Transfer from Georgia State, first year at Louisville. Cameron Kitchens, the fine safety, made the tackle. An impressive opening possession for the Cardinals.
A team that's really relied heavily on the run game, as you've referenced, Sean, here. 3 consecutive passes after a first down run by Jordan. Understanding the strength of Miami's defense is up the middle. It's tough to run the ball against the Canes, but their corners have been at times susceptible through the air.
Pistol with Jordan, the running back. And he fights for one. Wesley Bissaint, one of their linebackers, made the tackle. Jordan averaging 6.9 yards per carry to lead the ACC. Great combination of speed and power. He can run inside or out. 3rd down and 2. There's Lance Guidry, the defensive coordinator for Miami. In his first season, Jeff Brom, the head coach, calls the plays for Louisville. Huggins-Bruce in motion again. They swing it out to him, and he slips and falls. And the ball came out, but they're going to rule it a catch. And the ball came out after contact with the ground. It's a loss. That was a promising play because Huggins-Bruce, with that speed, had a lot of room if he was able to catch the ball and run. We had a little bit of light rain this morning that might be a factor on this grass field.
Yeah, ball was a little bit off the mark there, too. Just a little bit low. Huggins-Bruce had to stop and unfortunately loses his footing, and it results in a negative play.
They might review this to see if it was in fact a catch.
Down by contact. Previous play is under further review.
We're back, and Jeff Brom has a decision to make now. The replay booth overturned the call on the field, ruled this an incomplete pass, which looked to be the correct call. You can see Huggins-Bruce kind of loses it there, and it hits the ground before he gets both hands back on it. So it works for Louisville in that they get the 3 yards they lost back. And instead of kicking the field goal, now the offense is on the field on 4th down and 2.
They have not been a team that goes for it a lot on 4th down. They don't use analytics the way some other teams do. Just 13 attempts this year, and 7 of those were in the 4th quarter of football games. So a little out of character for the Cards.
Plummer went under center. They blitzed him. He throws it deep down the field and caught inside the 10. Nate Kariski for 23 yards on 4th and 2. Great call by Coach Brom.
And they try to go with a little spider 2 Y banana. There's good pressure off the edge by Williams. Forces Plummer to retreat. Throws it off his back foot. But Kariski goes up and makes a nice play on the underthrown deep ball.
Interesting decision to go for it, too, because one of the things Jeff Brom told us yesterday is he wants to get a lead early in the game. He felt that was very important. If the 3 wasn't a given, it would have been about a 49-yard field goal. Here's Jawar Jordan down to the 2. They've been a phenomenal first quarter team. Louisville has outscored its opponents 76-7 in the first quarter. The only touchdown by Pittsburgh and the only loss of the year for the Cardinals.
That's a testament to Jeff Brom and his staff. They have a great plan, great opening script, both offensively and defensively. And they do adjust accordingly. They do a great job in the second half as well, but excellent on the first half as Brian Brom, brother of Jeff Brom, the offensive coordinator, looks on.
Offers plenty of help for Jeff on the play calling. 9th play of this drive. Play fake by Plummer and a touchdown. Nate Kariski, the unlikely star of that opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown. He had 7 receptions all season entering today, and the touchdown is his 2nd of the year.
And a very very similar play than what they just ran a moment ago to Amari Huggins-Bruce, but this time it's Kariski in big personnel, wide open in the flat, and an easy pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And Brock Travelstead, the extra point.
Winner of this game gets the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy, and those are actual boots he used to wear that are bronzed. So, Sean, you could slip your feet into those bad boys. Those are real boots.
Yeah. Must have been hard for him to walk around in those. Made of bronze. They were donated by his wife, Beverly. He might need him. He had a little luggage mishap here this weekend.
It's too soon.
Too soon. There's Mark Fletcher on first down for Miami. And nothing doing against this excellent Louisville defense. Getting more and more attention as the season goes along.
For a long time, that group really flew under the radar. Gelati made some mid-season All-American teams, rightfully so, but collectively they have great depth, and the second level has been a huge surprise for Ron English. That linebacker group was a big question mark coming in, but Quinn and Alderman have been outstanding.
Van Dyke throws it away. That's one of the things they encouraged him to do. We saw him run earlier. It looked like he might run there. He doesn't run very often. They'd like him to do that more often. I thought it was interesting, Greg, what Shannon Dawson, the offense coordinator, said to us yesterday. He and Mario Cristobal went to Van Dyke during the week and said, okay, what can we do to help you? What is it that we're doing or not doing that would make life easier for you? He said they had a great conversation. They actually took a number of plays out of the playbook that Van Dyke doesn't feel comfortable with. Third down and 10. Some twisting inside for Louisville. They didn't get to the quarterback, and there's Xavier Restrepo with just enough for the first down. He didn't have a catch last week in Tallahassee. That's number 61 to lead the team for the year.
And man coverage from Louisville, and this is going to be a difficult matchup for Louisville all game long. The slot receiver, Restrepo, very quick in open field.
Van Dyke deep down the middle and caught. Jacoby George, an emerging star in recent weeks. All the way to the Cardinals 21.
And the safety inside gets hung on Restrepo underneath, which allows George plenty of speed on the post, and it's a well-thrown ball by Van Dyke for a big completion.
With 43 yards, George, 5 catches for 153 and 2 touchdowns last week against the Seminoles. He was the ACC receiver of the week for the second time this year. Also earned that honor when he had 3 touchdowns in their win against Texas A&M. Big hole and a touchdown. Cameron Kelly couldn't take Fletcher down.
Great job on the edge by the Miami tight ends. They go with 2 in the game. Riley Williams and Cam McCormick. They get great blocks up inside. And Fletcher runs through the arm tackle en route to the end zone. Terrific response from the Canes.
He's a true freshman. He's emerged as their starter running back the last couple of weeks. Andy Borregales on for the extra point that would tie it. Back-to-back big plays. It'll be a touchback. Good start for Louisville quarterback Jack Plummer. Certainly efficient in the play-action game today. And as you saw on the bottom of the screen, 14 of his 17 touchdown passes off play action. And here's more of it. They tried to set up a screen, well defended by Miami. So Plummer found a receiver on the near side. It's caught by Thrash. There is a flag thrown near where Thrash caught the ball for a 6-yard gain.
The way that Thrash created that separation might be a push-off offensive pass interference.
Eligible player downfield, number 61, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's the center, Brian Hudson, transfer from Virginia Tech.
the screen, it's so hard sometimes on those offensive linemen too. You're anticipating that ball being thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so you get downfield, try to execute your block. And when it goes off schedule and Plummer decides to throw it to a regular wide receiver, that's where you can kind of get caught in no man's land.
Isaac Guerrero in at running back now. He scored 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's had some long runs, including the game winner against Virginia. And that screen dropped for a loss by Francisco Maui Noah. A loss of 1 on the completion to Kevin Coleman.
Great job by Maui Noah. He sees the right tackle Eric Miller leave. He follows him immediately, takes him straight to Coleman, who's trying to run the tunnel screen back behind it. Just excellent recognition from Maui Noah, who's really developed into a well-rounded linebacker for Lance Guidry's defense. Very instinctive and has been highly productive, both blitzing and in coverage.
On 2nd and 15, Plummer deep down the field, intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Kitchens.
Kitchens' eyes are in the backfield the entire way. Plummer looks at the receiver the whole way, takes Kitchens right to it. He's got to get that ball there quicker because Kitchens can get there and cut it off immediately, which is exactly what he does. Excellent eyes by the safety to create the turnover.
Now that's what they're hoping to avoid. You mentioned it. Van Dyke's been very mistake prone, but Plummer has been as well, more than the coaches would like. That's why they've run the ball more than twice as much as they've thrown it in the last 3 weeks. And in those 3 games, they had only 1 turnover. It was an interception by Plummer against Virginia that was returned by the Cavs for a touchdown. Flea flicker, Restrepo's open. Inside the 25 and down to the 20.
Aggressive call there by Shannon Dawson. You get immediate sudden change, midfield, great field position. You try to take a shot, nothing's there. You got to trust your quarterback. Doesn't like the post, so he looks outside to his outlet to Restrepo. He holds him up on the back shoulder, and Restrepo makes a nice run after catch. Great decision by Van Dyke.
30-yard gain. Van Dyke's 3 out of 4 for 84 yards. Mark Fletcher, good tackle. Stop him short of the 15-yard line. It was Cameron Kelly, the transfer from North Carolina. Molly?
Sean, this is the most active I've seen Tyler Van Dyke on the sidelines. You mentioned offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson told us he wanted Van Dyke to speak up more. He's been coaching up his receivers all game, telling Brashard Smith, I need you to run harder at the end of that route. Telling Xavier Restrepo, I'm going to keep coming to you. This is your day. And you can see that on this drive, Sean.
More than anything, as you know, Molly, the coaches told him, have fun. He gets hit as he throws, and it forced an errant throw. Couple of Cardinals right there. And Van Dyke, you know, it's not a coincidence, I don't think, Greg, that his play fell off late in the year. He's been hit a lot and battling injuries.
Yeah, and this time, TJ Quinn unblocked right around the left guard Cohen and delivers a big shot, which forces the incompletion. Just a throw that was way off the mark as a result of the pressure.
3rd down and 5. Louisville 6th best in the country on 3rd down defense. Their opponents convert just 28% of the time. They rushed only 3. Van Dyke. It is Restrepo's day. Touchdown! Xavier Restrepo.
This is just a mesh concept. It's very simple. When you get man coverage in the red zone on 3rd down, Restrepo and the other receiver are going to crisscross right in the middle. Restrepo flies out the back door, and then he goes over the top for the touchdown. Just great read and well executed by the Canes.
5th touchdown of the year for Restrepo, 9th of his career. With a 4th-year junior from just down the road in Coconut Creek, Florida, where he grew up. Miami comes in losers of 2 in a row. And 4 of their last 6. after that 4-0 start, the number 17 ranking. And their 2 wins in the last 6 were both in overtime here against Clemson and Virginia. Short kickoff down to Maurice Turner. Maurice Turner with some room. The kicker tries to cut him off, and he did. Not only did he took him down. And the Miami sideline liked the tackle. The Cardinals liked the return of 50 yards by Turner.
Maybe a little frustration there from Bullet Gallis, and he took it out on Turner. It was really well executed on the edge by Louisville's return team. There's absolutely nothing there, and always used to say the kickoff return team, especially on the road, is one of the most important groups. Sudden changer to start the half, right after you give up a touchdown, to steal momentum back away from the opposing team is huge.
Just the second kickoff return of the year for Turner. The other one went for 15 yards. Isaac Guerrero, here he goes again. And collared out of bounds by James Williams, the safety and their leading tackler at the 24-yard line. 21 on the play for Louisville.
And this is an awesome job by the right guard, Austin Collins. They have a little movement up front. He doesn't take the bait. He stays wide, engages with the Saint, and allows Guerrero to get to the edge. Really well executed in the front by Collins, who's filling in for Renato Brown, who got hurt before the Pitt game. But, man, he has stepped in and filled some big shoes.
Yeah, they are now a very dynamic 1-2 punch. Surprise there as Plummer keeps it. Fake the reverse. And went ahead for 6. He's a big guy, every bit of 6'5", 215 pounds.
Jeff Brom says he's not really a guy that's going to kill anyone with his legs, but if we can just get him 3 to 5 carries in the game, he'll play better. He'll settle in, and right there he gets one with a nice gain on first down.
And what he said was he wants him to take off running 3 to 5 times when there's nothing there, rather than force it someplace and throw an interception. Just pull it down and take off running. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Guerrero. Transfer from Wisconsin. He gave the U of L their 31-24 lead in their last game. They rallied in the 4th quarter to beat Virginia 31-24. Last 2 games against Virginia Tech and Virginia, 240 yards rushing, 146 of those against the Hokies, a career high.
They're going to bring in Trevante Sylvester. Wears number 97, but he's actually a left tackle. Usually wears number 70, so bring in the extra lineman here on 3rd and short.
Play clock down to 3. Both teams took a while to substitute. Guerrero, first down. Corey Flagg made the tackle.
There's a lot of movement being called by Jeff Brom in the pre-snap. Cross the ball motions, misdirections, a run that looks like it's going to go to the left, but it actually bends back to the right. He has this very aggressive Miami defense flowing in one direction only to go back the other way. It's really kept him off guard for the most part.
Under a half minute to go in the quarter. 14-7 Miami. They've scored 14 unanswered. Here's Guerrero to tie the game, pending the extra point. This ain't missed the tackle, and nobody else got close to Guerrero. His 5th touchdown now in the last 3 games.
And a little counter action, GT counter, a play that Florida State actually hit Miami on last week. It was a touchdown to Benson. It actually bent back to the other side. This time, Guerrero stays play side. It's well executed against an all-out pressure from Lance Guidry, and there's nobody home as he walks into the end zone.
Travels 10, ties it. So after Plummer made the mistakes that they're hoping he'll avoid, they got the ball back, and all 5 plays on that touchdown drive for Louisville were runs. Last 3 games all win, 117 runs and only 54 passes for Louisville. And it's working well. The kickoff's a touchback. Jeff Brom has won the toss now 9 of 11 times this year. He has deferred every time. And the opponents had not scored and still haven't scored in their opening possession this season. The defense gets immediate stops. They get the ball to the offense, and they jump out to leads. Donald Chaney, the running back, stopped by Stanquan Clark on what will be the last play of the first quarter.
Coach, a week after his benching, what have you seen from Tyler Van Dyke so far today?
Very decisive, very accurate. He's been a great leader. We got to continue getting hot. Got to continue staying hot, I should say.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Van Dyke playing well in the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. To the second quarter we go. Miami and Louisville tied at 14. If Louisville wins, they'll clinch second place in the ACC. Van Dyke's pass batted down by the safety Cameron Kelly.
Cameron Kelly coming right off the edge. Van Dyke trying to get it to Restrepo. And Kelly goes up, knocks it down. Well timed on the pressure by the safety.
Miami 2 out of 3 so far on third down. Van Dyke 4 for 7 passing for 99, a touchdown, no turnovers. Henry Parrish, who's been injured lately, is on the field at running back. Here comes a blitz. And Van Dyke got it off incomplete, trying to get it to Cam McCormick. In his 8th year in college football, first here at Miami after 7, with a lot of injuries at Oregon.
And a well-timed pressure by Ron English, the defensive coordinator. Henry Parrish tries to save it late, but it forces Van Dyke to get off his spot, tries to find an outlet. Just not enough there for the Canes. That was well executed by the Louisville defense.
Dylan Joyce to punt again. Kevin Coleman back for it, standing at his own 35. Good kick. Coleman dragged down. Looks like they'll mark it around the 27-yard line. 50-yard punt. Jawar Jordan in the backfield with Dwayne Martin. There's a fullback and tight end. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage, and the throw incomplete. Intended for Jaden Thompson. Looked like Miami was offside. Corey Flagg in particular.
Offside. Defense, number 11. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You might say Corey was flagged. I wish you had said that. These two coaches with a lot in common. Mario Cristobal and Jeff Brom, each head coach at his alma mater. They're 2 of the 19 head coaches leading their school's football programs as grads. 2 of the 10 in Power 5 football. Jawar Jordan, the ball carrier. And they'll go quickly to the line of scrimmage. There's the list. If you're Evelyn Wood, you'll get it all. If not, we'll come back to it. Jordan tripped up. Looked like he might get to the corner, but Kiko Mauinoa said no. Forcing a third down at about 2.
Excellent play there by Mauinoa. Jawar Jordan makes a living getting outside the tackles, and no one can catch him, but a good shoestring tackle there by Mauinoa to drop him short of the sticks.
Third down and 2. They're 1 out of 2 on third down. They had the big fourth down conversion, did Louisville in the first quarter. Plummer sent Jordan in motion. Wide open receiver, and it's dropped. It wasn't a great throw by Josh Lifson, one of their tight ends. They ordinarily don't throw it to the tight end often. They have so far here today. He was wide open. That should have been a third down conversion.
I mean, wide open. I mean, easy throw for Jack Plummer. Just get it up around his face mask, but it comes out of his hand a little strange. Nose down. That's so hard. It's like trying to catch a sinker if you're a catcher in baseball.
Not a great throw.
2 now on Plummer that he's missed really low that's resulted in incompletions.
Brady Hodges is the punter. And that is a line drive. Takes a good bounce. Rashad Smith got away from it. Pondard picking it up for a moment. Both fine players as well. Jeff Brom, 2-time team MVP for Coach Howard Schnellenberger, quarterback. Mario Cristobal, a standout offensive lineman on 2 national championship teams. He played for Jimmy Johnson and Dennis Erickson. Colby Young, the catch. And 7 yards on first down for the U.
Another hit on Tyler Van Dyke there. The interior of the offensive line so far for Miami has had a little bit of trouble with the athleticism of the defensive tackles from Louisville. That's been 3 or 4 hits already on Van Dyke. They need to do a better job in protection and give him a little time.
Should be a cohesive offensive line. The same 5 have started every game. One of only 11 teams in the country to do that. Quick screen. Colby Young another catch for 6 and a first down. Molly.
Sean, on the sidelines, Tyler Van Dyke was walking gingerly, favoring his right leg. He told us in October he suffered a rare leg injury called a Morel-Lavelle lesion, where the skin separated from the muscle and fat layer on his right leg from the knee down.
Ooh. Henry Parrish, the catch, and I know you have more on that. Extremely painful, and he hasn't made a big deal of it, but you'd have to think that has something to do with the drop-off on his play.
Yeah, Sean, it's an injury most commonly seen in high-velocity traumas like car accidents. It causes extreme pain and swelling, and he admitted it's hampered his ability to make plays outside of the pocket. He refuses to make excuses, but it is bothering him today.
It's off to a good start. 7 out of 11. Another short pass to Colby Young. Jalen Alderman made the tackle. 4-yard gain for Young, who's been the featured receiver on this possession for Miami.
Yeah, it's good to get him going too, because they've already gotten Restrepo involved. Jacoby George with the big play on the post, and now the third head of the 3-headed monster, a wide receiver, is starting to get going. And Colby Young at 6'5" is a guy that you really want to get involved, especially in the red zone.
There's 3 catches in the game, all on this possession for the Hurricanes, facing 3rd down and 5. With a bunch to Van Dyke's right. A blitz came from that direction. Here's Restrepo. First down and much more in the Louisville territory. To the Cardinal 46.
Beautiful route by Restrepo. Looks like it's going to be an option. He fakes to the inside and works all the way back out. But as soon as the defenders flow over the top, he turns back inside for a nice run after catch.
4 catches, 73 for Restrepo. Dumped off short to Parrish, who got belted by Cameron Kelly. Some uncharacteristic poor tackling for Louisville here in the first half. Some of it might be the field. You can see little clumps. We did have some morning rain here.
And there are going to be some issues in the back end for Louisville. They're excellent at corner, with Quincy Riley being one of the best. But at safety, they have had some inconsistencies. They lost M.J. Griffin, who was their best safety in fall camp, and Cameron Kelly and Devin Neal have done a decent job, but it's a tough matchup against Miami's wideouts.
There's the first run after 6 straight passes on this drive for Miami. Mark Fletcher. Running backs pretty much even now in the estimation of Coach Cristobal. Talked to us the other day. He hadn't really decided who would be the lead guy today. Would be Fletcher, Parrish, or Chaney. And they seem pretty interchangeable after watching Miami several times this year.
Pretty good group of backs, but Fletcher in time with his size-speed combination, he's got a chance to be special.
He's the back now. He's 6'2", 225. One of the top recruits in the country, part of this glittering freshman class for Miami. And he did not get the first down. It'll be 4th down and a little less than 2. Quincy Riley, Devin Neal combining on the play for the Cardinals. And they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Based on the 3rd down call, it's almost like that was a decision that was made a couple plays ago. Conservative up the middle with extra tackle in the game. And now in short yardage, you would expect much of the same.
And it's a long one, closer to 1.5 yards. Heavy formation with Fletcher the back. They sell out on the run, does Louisville, and they can't stop Fletcher. They got the first down with about 1.5 yards to spare.
And a great run here by Fletcher. It's the exact same play that they ran before, but this time it gets cut off to the front side. Fletcher cuts it back just a little bit and finds just enough room to pick up the first down. Gotta be careful here for Louisville, because this is a spot on the field plus territory where Miami will try to take a shot. See if Tyler Van Dyke goes with a heavy play action. See if they can't hit one down the field.
Eight minutes to go in the half. It is a play fake. He is looking deep down the field for Young. A leaping attempt, and he couldn't get it. Just over his head. Storm Duck had the coverage. And the Miami Partisans wanted a flag on Duck.
Full play action. 10 men that are in there in the box. Only one guy on the route over the top.
I think the crowd has a point.
There was a lot of contact there at the end. The Storm Duck is Van Dyke again getting a big hit delivered to him as he releases the football.
By Mason Reiger. Yeah, that could have easily been a penalty on Duck. It ends a string of 6 straight completions for Tyler Van Dyke. On the reverse, Brashard Smith. Touchdown! He got a great block from the freshman tackle, Francis Maui Noah. 34 yards, the U back on top.
Oh my goodness, if you're Maui Noah, this is what you dream of. You get an opportunity to go against a defensive back in the open field and look at him, boom! Sit down, my friend, and watch your wide receiver take it right into the end zone. Yeah, that's a pancake right there, ladies and gentlemen. How about the block by the freshman?
5-star recruit out of IMG Academy here in Florida, originally from American Samoa.
A moment ago, Jacoby George might have gotten away with a holding here working against Storm Duck. Brashard Smith is up inside, but look, as Brashard Smith goes, Jacoby George's left hand is grabbing the right shoulder pad of Storm Duck, and as he tries to disengage, it looked like he was holding a lot of jerseys, so might have gotten away with one there.
Well, Matt Austin, our referee, thinks it was definitely a hold. The kickoff is a touchback by Borregales. All right, Kevin, thank you. It's the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. Louisville trying to go to the ACC Championship game with a win today. Plummer throws deep and way out of bounds over the head of Amari Huggins-Bruce with Cam Kitchens in coverage. We should mention that North Carolina and Virginia Tech are the other 2 teams still alive with a chance at the second spot in the title game in the ACC and a matchup with Florida State. But if Louisville wins today, they go for the first time in school history. They've been in since 2014. Went 7-1 in the league in 2016, but didn't make it to the title game. Isaac Garendo has a first down with an 11-yard catch and run.
Love that play there by Jeff Crom. Quarterback's been a little bit off the mark at times, and get him back into the game by moving the pocket just a little bit. Easy completion in the direction of his throwing arm, and get the offense started again.
Garendo, huge hole right side. Across midfield and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 17-yard run for Garendo.
And a really nice job by the left guard, Michael Gonzalez, having to reach that defensive tackle inside Branson Dean, and Garendo cuts right off that block and makes another nice play. Pretty good surge so far running the football from Louisville's offensive line.
Brian Brom, the coordinator, said we like our offensive line. 11.2 today per carry for Garendo after he averaged more than 14 yards per carry in the previous 2 against Virginia Tech and Virginia. Plummer, crowd thinks they saw a hole. Plummer got it off, incomplete, out of bounds, far sideline. Nate Kariski couldn't corral it in bounds. Second down and 10. And Timeout called. Or perhaps a replay review. Wonder if they're going to take a look at that catch.
Under further review.
See if Kuriski actually caught it on the far sideline. No,
Right out of bounds. Remove that roadblock that is Texas, who has that head-to-head win against the Tide.
It's looking like perhaps a winner-take-all in the SEC championship game, Georgia and Alabama. On 2nd down and 10, not much there for Isaac Garendo. A 1-yard gain. Branson Dean made the tackle. He is a transfer to Miami from Purdue, where he played for Jeff Brom.
He's giving them some good reps there on the interior. And having lost Nigel Lee Kelly and Mesidor on the edges, they really needed the guys inside to step up, and Branson Dean has answered that challenge.
Branson Dean is in his 7th year of college football. Started 26 games for Coach Brom at Purdue. 3rd down and 9. They're not in field goal range. Deep drop. Plummer lots of time and has his man for a 1st down. To the 32-yard line of Miami. Chris Bell with his first catch of the day. Good for 14.
And this is a really well-timed throw by Jack Plummer. The protection was good. They brought a little late pressure. You got man coverage underneath, and you're able to hit Bell right there, your big body receiver over the middle of the field in front of some defenders. That was well executed by the Cardinals.
They like the crossers against man coverage. Most teams do. Isaac Garendo inside the 29-yard line. He's up to 61 yards on 7 carries. And it helps because, as Molly said, Jawar Jordan still feeling some pain in his legs. Battled hamstring and knee injuries lately.
Early in the season, there was a significant drop-off when Jawar Jordan was not on the field, but Garendo has done a great job these last few games creating some big plays.
5-man rush. They got in the face of Plummer. Throws it up for grabs. It was caught, but out of bounds, say the officials. Damari Brown, the true freshman, had the coverage on Chris Bell. The side judge, Jerry Walter, right there to say incomplete.
And it was a really well-thrown ball. Looks like that right foot is in. Does he secure the catch before that right foot drops down? Now he feels like that ball is still moving just a little bit as he reels it in with one hand, but that was a heck of an effort by Bell and a well-thrown football by Jack Plummer. Not a lot of room on the sideline. Looks like that ball's secure right there against
trapped against his chest. I don't see it moving around. After the replay review, the call overturned. This is a catch, Matt Austin. You agree?
I do. I think this is a really nice overturn by the replay booth. He definitely got the ball pinned against his chest, brought the other hand up, got the right foot down in bounds. To me, that's firm control, body part. It's a catch.
Amazing
Good
catch.
ball.
Amazing catch there.
Now the ball moves, but he's just tucking it away. I mean, he didn't lose control of it. He's just tucking it under his arm to get greater possession of it. So it's a 22-yard play to Bell, who has 2 catches on this drive, his first 2 of the day. 1st and goal, Louisville, 4:10 to go. In the first half, they're trying to tie the game. Play action pass, and the pass too high for Jamari Thrash. Playing with a severely injured hand. Just the 3rd time he's been targeted here in the first half. Their leading receiver for the year.
Man, he's got plenty of separation, too. That ball way overthrown by Plummer. Got to give your receiver a chance and lead him to the front pylon. Just a bad miss there by the quarterback. It would have been an easy touchdown.
And you know, when he's been counseled, you don't make the mistake. Don't turn it over. Don't throw an interception. He's going to be extra careful. 10th play of the drive. Design roll to the right, and he had to throw it away with pressure coming. There's Corey Flagg in hot pursuit of Jack Plummer, not related to Jake Plummer.
Well covered there, too, by Corey Couch. The nickel and star for the Miami defense. Probably been their most consistent cover guy all year long there in the slot. No separation there as Plummer has to wisely throw it away.
Lindo, the running back. Plummer forced back, waving receivers around, and again throws it away. Didn't want to force one into the end zone. It was Kiko Maui Noah who put the late pressure on Plummer. So Jeff Brom, first and goal from the 7. They'll have to settle for a field goal try.
This is a missed opportunity here. He's got Jimmy Callaway underneath on a slant. They go with a little bit of a rub route. He's wide open. I mean, he's got to be on right now. And he falls into the end zone. I mean, he's open. You got to get rid of the football. So a bad sequence there by Plummer is going to lead Louisville to having to settle for 3.
Here's Brock Travelstead. 24-yard attempt. And a problem last week on a snap and hold in their game against Virginia. Clean operation there, and he still missed it wide to the right. Oh, a chip shot. Jack Plummer played for Jeff Brom at Purdue before transferring to Cal and then rejoining Coach Brom here at Louisville. Jack told us one of the things he noticed this year is Jeff Brom's a little less fiery and on the sideline, not quite as animated toward the quarterback, but not there. He didn't like, and I wonder, Craig, as it was Cheney who just carried on first down, when you get coached, don't make the big mistake. Clearly they want Plummer to cut down on the interceptions. Can that make you a little gun shy when you're down around the goal line like that?
Absolutely. And when you're thinking don't screw it up, don't screw it up, don't screw it up, you're going to be way too cautious. And there were 2 wide open receivers that could have easily resulted in a touchdown. His refusal to pull the trigger on the 3rd down and the errant throw on 1st down, I would imagine his cautiousness didn't help him there.
Van Dyke in the flat for Cheney, who goes out of bounds short of the 1st down.
And I can sympathize too, because I remember when I was playing in college, I mean, our whole approach was run the ball 1st down, run the ball 2nd down. Greg, don't screw it up on 3rd, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, but Nick Saban never yelled at you on the sideline.
There were times where I would check and see who was on the other sideline. If that was a nice coach, there were times I was thinking maybe I'd go over there. But I usually wound up heading over to the crimson and white side. My ear didn't always make it to the bench, though. No. That's for sure.
Jack Plummer can relate. There's 3rd down and 2. Would imagine Louisville might use a timeout on a stop. And they got the stop by not as much as they thought they would. Fletcher down. Ramon Puryear, the primary hit. And the clock is running.
Timeout, Louisville. That's their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
I think they lost a couple of seconds there. Jeff Brom might be asking about that. Yeah, they're going to put a couple seconds back. Didn't have anything prepared. That was a decent shot. Dylan Joyce, tumbling line drive kick away from Coleman. Good job by the Australian punter. 2:16 to go. 2 timeouts for Louisville.
Please reset the game clock to 2:19. 2:19.
Well, I thought they reset it to 2:18 before the previous snap. So how did they gain a second?
The punt was -1 second hang time. But I'll be curious to see how Jeff Brom decides to handle this. So far, his quarterback a little off the mark, just 9 of 17. Did have the pick earlier too, and not great field position to try to steal some points.
Jawar Jordan chased out of bounds and gotten away from him. Had 5 carries early. That's good for a 5-yard run. Plummer started 6 out of 7 for 58 yards. Since then, 3 out of 10 for the interception. And the interception, 47 yards since. Two minutes to go in the half. Jordan is a home run hitter. He has 2 rushes of 70 yards this season. Quick slant caught by Jimmy Callaway, the transfer from Tennessee. Damari Brown dumped him immediately. Short of the 1st down. 3rd down and 1. Whoa, wait a minute. The officials with some confusion about whether that was a 1st down or not.
They're going to give it to him, though, based on the late adjustment there.
They're going to have to look at this. That was not a first down.
It's a nice route.
He never gets to the 33.
He's at the 31 and a half. Very furthest.
After further review, the ruling on the field, the ball carrier was down at the 32-yard line, one yard short of the line of game. The third down at the 32-yard line. Please reset the play clock, the game clock at 1:52, and the clock will start on my signal on the left hash.
He does need to change the verbiage. It wasn't the ruling on the field. That's the third time he said that when, in fact, the ruling on the field's been overturned. Jawar Jordan, the running back. It looks like they're going to operate out of the pistol, at least as they line up.
They're going to run to the left here behind Josh Listen, their tight end.
Play fake to Jordan. It's the tight end Kariski who slipped down, but had enough for the first down. He's having a big day. 7 catches coming into today. He has 4 now to lead Louisville, including a touchdown. Minute and a half to go on the clock running. Plummer did as he throws, got it off. Breaking it tackles Callaway. Jimmy Callaway out of bounds at midfield to the Miami 49, in fact, with a first down.
Good job by Jack Plummer beating the pressure off the left-hand side. Gets it out quickly to Callaway, who breaks a tackle and gets upfield and out of bounds. Excellent run after catch.
Plummer trying to get in the rhythm. Has an open receiver in the flat. It's Jawar Jordan, chopped down at the 42 by Takori Couch.
Don't need to be in a crazy hurry here if you're Jack Plummer. You got plenty of room. I know you got to keep one of those timeouts for your kicker. So you cannot take a sack. Absolutely no negative yardage plays in this situation.
That's their first charge timeout and a half. 30-second timeout.
Defense on its heels and scrambling a little bit, so Mario Cristobal with the timeout. First season back at his alma mater, and his head coach, as he says, the place I love most. And this season could easily have been that much better. They gave one game away against Georgia Tech. Here's the quick run for a first down up the middle by Jawar Jordan. That was the game when all they had to do was take a knee and they'd be 5-0. But they didn't fumble, and Georgia Tech went down and scored. It's the only loss of the year here at home for Miami. They're 5-1 here. Not much there for Amari Huggins-Bruce, and Louisville now will use one of its remaining 2 timeouts. Emory Williams supplanted him as the starter last week at Florida State. 19-year-old true freshman. Fought hard the entire game, and while lunging for a first down to keep their hopes alive, suffered a compound fracture of his left arm. They hope he'll be back by spring practice. 2nd and 6, Louisville, 43 seconds to go. They're at the Miami 32 on the edge of field goal range, and more comfortably into that now, and that's an incomplete pass. Jamari Thrash couldn't hang on, playing with that injured left hand. It's made it a little more inconsistent in terms of his catching the last few weeks.
He's a great receiver, but the inconsistencies catching the football really hurt this team. That ball perfectly thrown by Plummer, and Thrash can't reel it in.
And you wonder if it's 4-down territory. Travelstead does have the leg to make it from here, but they've been shaky the last few weeks with the field goal unit, including just a moment ago when they missed a chip shot.
Previous play is under further review.
It's been our 4th replay review of the game already. No, he never had it.
Right through his hands. Field for Thrash. He's playing through a lot of pain.
3rd down and 6. 1 timeout left for Louisville, 2 for Miami. And now the Kings are going to stop the clock.
So I would anticipate number 51 for Miami bringing the heat here on Jack Plummer. See if they can't knock him out of field goal range.
North Carolina Clemson coming up on ESPN in the next window. Tar Heels desperately hoping for a Miami win here to keep their hopes of the championship game alive. Plummer in the flat, man open, caught, running room, and a good tackle made on Chris Bell by Jadis Richard. Because if he doesn't make that tackle, there's a lot more space to cover for Bell. They settle for 12.
Excellent job of protection there by Louisville's offensive line as well. Against the heat, they gave him plenty of time to let that shallow cross clear.
Plummer pulled it down and then lofted it incomplete. There is a flag down. It might have been a late hit on the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 44. Defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Reuben Bain, one of the great freshman defensive linemen in the country.
He's working inside against Brian Hudson. Looks like as he's trying to swat at the football, he kind of hits Plummer in the helmet a little bit there, kind of along the right cheek, and it didn't look like forcible contact to the head. I don't think I agree with that call.
Lance Guidry, the defensive coordinator, certainly doesn't like it, and it's a big call. It gives them a first down and goal now, right on the 10. 17 seconds. They have the one timeout. Plummer looking to the sideline for some guidance. Jawar Jordan, the running back. Miami showing blitz. They bring pressure. Jordan runs past it and gets stopped at the 1. Huge tackle by Cam Kitchens. And now Louisville will use its last timeout.
Timeout Louisville. That's the third and final charge timeout of the half.
12 seconds to go. Louisville does not have a timeout. 11th play of the drive. Martin moves to the fullback. They shifted Kariski to the right. Plummer, wide open receiver, caught for a touchdown. And it's Trevante Sylvester, ordinarily the offensive lineman, who they put in on the goal line in the heavy package. At 6'6", 280, he has to switch numbers from 70 to 97 to be eligible, and he was all alone.
Just an amazing design. You have overload, guys standing on the right-hand side that are ineligible. They're covered up, but you don't recognize that. You just see a big body with 2 knee braces on. You're thinking, this guy's blocking. He releases, and he's wide open for the touchdown. Probably something they've been working on for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Oh, boy, the extra point is deflected and missed. And now the kicking situation is very problematic for Jeff Brown. So 11 plays, 77 yards for the touchdown. First career catch from Sylvester. Squib kick. Ray Joseph stood up at the 32-yard line. There is a time. There is time for a play. I think there might be a targeting on that big hit that we mentioned.
Ooh.
Trey Franklin.
As he's going in, he initiates that contact with the crown of the helmet. That is going to be targeting.
Likely gone for the rest of this one.
Further review. Personal foul. Targeting. Number 28. Kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down. Number 28 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
He's a backup defensive back, but he plays significant snaps on defense, and as you just saw, he's a special teams player as well. Louisville playing without Jarvis Brownlee, who has been a starting cornerback for most of the year, but battling foot and ankle injuries in recent weeks. He's not dressed today. So they are thin now in the secondary. Van Dyke gets it down to the end zone, batted down incomplete on what should be the last play of the half.
Coach, what's your reaction to that targeting call on Trey Franklin?
Well, I mean, we can't do that. So it's a 15-yard penalty, and we got to just sharpen things up. We're playing a good football team. We're hanging in there, but we got to play better.
How concerning are your issues in the kicking game?
Well, it's very concerning. It's not like Brock. I think it's all mental right now. You just got to relax. You've got to relax. Trust it. Kick it high, kick through it. Don't overthink it. And right now, you just got to come back and play well the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach.
And then Miami kind of figured it out a bit. They had a nice answer at the end of half. They stole some points, and now they get the ball coming out in the second to see what adjustments they've made.
Short kickoff by Andy Borregales was fielded on the run by Isaac Garendo. And good starting field position for Louisville after a 20-yard return. They'll begin at the 33-yard line. Fourth game this season with multiple touchdown passes, including back-to-back games. Did it in their come-from-behind win against UVA. Start with a run for Garendo. That was last Thursday night. They had a couple of extra days to get ready for this game, which Jeff Brom appreciated. Gave his team a little extra rest, which everybody could use at this time of the year.
A couple guys a little banged up too, so giving them some extra time to get healthy, especially Jamari Thrash, is of the utmost importance.
Yeah, Thrash still not fully effective with the injured hand. There's Chris Bell. And that's enough for a first down on his 4th catch of the day. This one for 10 yards.
That's a part here in the second half that they're going to have to continue to try to take advantage of. Some of the perimeter throws. Miami's really conscientious against the run, so you're going to have some isolations outside. You just got to beat that coverage with good timing, and Plummer did so there on the hitch.
Play fake to Garendo. Plummer takes off running. And that probably falls into that category that Jeff Brom spoke to Plummer about a few times. 3 to 5 times a game. Take off running. And there's nothing there.
Didn't try to force anything. It was pretty well defended. Thought he might have had the flat early, but didn't like it initially. Get what you can, live to play second down.
Louisville with a win would play Florida State for the championship game in the ACC. They have one game left after today. It's their rivalry game in state against Kentucky. Spinning away Garendo. His latest long run all the way to the 30-yard line of Miami. 26 yards for Garendo.
And it looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield. Branson Dean was in there. The Saint was in there as well. Kind of spun out of it, and nobody was home. Good job breaking through those tackles in the backfield and finding some open space on the edge.
Boy, he's good for double digits on just about every carry these last few games. 9 for 87 yards rushing today. Strange looking handoff there. Plummer trying to fake the run. They weren't fooled. Jacob Lichtenstein, who's changed numbers from 55 to 86. He's a 7th-year senior, which means he's a relative newcomer to college football in this day and age. Played for a while at USC. 3-yard loss on that one. And again, they're on the fringe of field goal range. Plummer on target. And trying to break free is Joey Gatewood, who was yanked down by Cam Kitchens. 3rd down and almost 3. A 10-yard completion to the former Auburn quarterback. Started his college career at Auburn, one of the most highly recruited players in the country, coming out of Jacksonville, Florida. And now Louisville is 4th school. He's made a nice conversion to tight end, still learning. They think he might be a pro with his athletic ability, and you wonder what's going through Travelstead's mind. Probably please get the first down. Plummer, single coverage for Thrash. Some hand fighting with Damari Brown in coverage. Incomplete pass. And here comes the field goal team.
Throw just a little off the mark here from Plummer. Trying to throw him to the outside. He's working against the freshman Damari Brown. And the ball's just way too wide. Can't really adjust to it far enough. Really got to give your receiver a chance. Let him go up and high point that ball. And
new kicker here, Greg. It is not Travelstead. It is Nick Lopez, a 5th-year senior who has not attempted a field goal this year. He might have a new job. That was about as perfect as it could be from 40 yards. And Louisville has a 2-point lead. ESPN, additional coverage on ESPN Plus in Deportes in English and Spanish. Travelstead's kickoff is a touchback. Most importantly, mistake-free. No turnovers. Miami has not turned it over. Louisville's turned it over once. Out wide it goes to Brashard Smith. And a good tackle in the open field. Cameron Kelly was there with help from Jalen Alderman. Emery Williams
looking on. Of course, broke his arm last week against Florida State. But Van Dyke, another example of that decision making. Right there, didn't force anything in there. It was well defended. It was well covered. Just take your outlet, see what he does with it. Still an example of him going through his progression and making a good choice on the throw.
Mark Fletcher, the running back. Quick throw the other way. Colby Young that stood up and knocked down by Cameron Kelly. 4-yard gain. Kelly, a transfer from North Carolina, where he played in 42 games for the Tar Heels. Trying to keep his old team out of the ACC title game with a win for Louisville today.
Third down for Miami. It's really been all about Xavier Restrepo. He's down here in the slot. He's their go-to guy. He's the toughest mismatch for Louisville's defense. Let's see if they look in his direction.
Miami 3 out of 7 on third down, and down goes Van Dyke. There is a flag thrown right where he was tackled. Mason Reiger there, but he's grabbing at his head as if he knows he did something wrong. That's what he did wrong.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And that's a big problem for Louisville, because there was no way that Van Dyke was going to get away. He was surrounded.
Yeah, that was just completely collapsed on the right-hand side. Maui Noah gets pushed back. Fletcher's in there as well, and Reiger goes up, grabs the face mask as he's going to the ground. Really unnecessary, and it's kind of unlucky, but a good call there by the official in all the traffic.
Well, instead of a punt, it's a first down for Miami out to the 42-yard line. Third penalty against Louisville. Under 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Back and forth game. It's the Cardinals by 2. Big hole up the middle. Fletcher got stood up by Cameron Kelly, who's delivered a bunch of hard hits here in the third quarter.
And an excellent block by the freshman tight end, Riley Williams. Just goes and kicks out Stephen Herron there on the end of the line of scrimmage, and right downhill goes Fletcher, and it was a nice gain.
Williams, another key component of their glittering freshman class. He was the number 2 tight end out of high school last year. True freshmen had some injuries. They tried to hit Isaiah Horton on the slant. Storm Duck, another former North Carolina Tar Heel, had the coverage.
Third down and 3 in this scenario. Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, very comfortable running the football. Third and medium, third and short. Usually this is normally a drop back pass type of situation, but they trust their offensive line to get it here in those kind of middling downs.
And Dawson, air raid disciple, coached alongside Hal Mumme and Mike Leach and his mentor Dana Holgerson. Quick pass, incomplete pass. Tried to get it to Brashard Smith. Devin Neal nearby in coverage. And so far the offense is still on the field, and now the punting unit comes on for Coach Cristobal.
Another big hit on Van Dyke. This time TJ Quinn coming right off the edge. It's well defended in the back end. Have to get the ball out really quickly, and there's just not nearly enough separation to convert the third and short.
Dylan Joyce will punt for the 4th time. Kevin Coleman back inside his own 10. Straight up in the air. Good kick. Fair catch. 13-yard line. Alabama.
Nor will it be.
National championship winning quarterback Greg McElroy.
Nor should it be.
Out of the pistol. Here's Garendo. Swung down after a gain of 1. So Garendo now with 11 carries and 8 for Jawar Jordan. And Garendo's been the more effective of the two, averaging almost 8 yards per carry. Still doesn't look like Jawar Jordan is running at full speed. They stick with Garendo, and he gets dropped for a loss by Corey Flagg, who's had a good day, the junior from Houston, Texas. This is the worst starting field position of the day for Louisville. They're 9-1. Last time they won 9 games was 2016 when they were also 9-1, led by Lamar Jackson, who wound up winning the Heisman Trophy that year. They lost their last 3 that season to finish 9-4, hoping not to duplicate that history. Here comes a blitz right up the middle. Williams didn't get Plummer, and his pump fake didn't fool anybody. He's chased out of bounds, and it'll be a quick 3 and out. Wesley Bissett chased Plummer across the sideline.
Hey, diddle diddle, 3 up the middle. If you know the name of the blitz, it's because you can't block it. Coach is trying to make sure that you remember it, and they can't. Get James Williams one-on-one. Plummer does a good job of escaping initially, but nothing there downfield. Well-timed blitz called there by the defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry.
So Miami should get excellent field position with Brady Hodges on the punt, standing on his own goal line. Sun peeking through the clouds now. The entire field is in the shade. Rashard Smith got 4 more than he should have. Louisville had him right on the catch, but he escaped. From their own 45, Miami. Van Dyke got the handoff off. There goes Mark Fletcher. Can they catch him? Yes. Oh, they signaled a touchdown. Hard to tell if he went across the sideline before he reached the pylon. 55 yards if it stands. And Miami goes back on top as we look at it from the progressive pylon cam.
Unbelievable effort by Fletcher. Looks like those feet are in bounds. Where's the ball? It's tough to tell. Is that left foot out just before you get goal line extended?
Well, he did a tremendous job just to get to that pylon without stepping out of bounds shy of it. Replay taking a look at it. He's inbounds the whole way. The question is, where's the ball relative to the pylon?
Left foot is in.
The
Right
feet are
foot is
in
in.
the whole way. He's still airborne, but does he break the plane?
Yeah, it's tough to tell if it goes over the pylon. I'm sure it does.
Matt Austin, what's the rule here regarding as you're going out of bounds relative to the goal line?
Well, the ball never passes above or inside the pylon, so it has to cross the goal line extended before he's out of bounds. So the question is, before he kicked the pylon, which would put him in the end zone, was his backside on the ground or his hand on the ground?
After further review, determined that the ball carried and went out of bounds at the half-yard line. It will be first and goal from the half-yard line. Right hash.
Fletcher driving to the goal line and short, according to the official marking the ball from the far sideline.
Great shot right down the line. It's a good surge initially there by Ashton Gelati, working against Ryan Rodriguez, bringing an extra offensive lineman. But looks there as if the ball was very close as it got up into the scrum.
And now Mario Cristobal trotting down the sideline. He wants to know why they're not stopping to look at that. So Fletcher again, the running back. Fletcher ran into traffic and surges into the end zone for a Miami touchdown and a Hurricane lead.
And a great second effort. You'll see Fletcher work in over the right guard for a moment, bend back left just a little bit, continues to drive his legs and eventually finds pay dirt. Nothing there initially, but overpowering Quincy Riley, the corner, into the end zone. Great run by Fletcher.
Andy Borregales adds the extra point. Back and forth they go. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath, our producer Phil Dean, our director Scott Johnson, our terrific ABC college football crew here in South Florida from Miami and Louisville. Back and forth game. Miami on top again by 5. And Andy Borregales' kickoff is a touchback. Which takes us to the Aflac trivia question. We want to know who was the first Louisville head football coach to win an outright conference championship.
Gosh, I would have no chance. Given the circumstances, I'm going to go ahead and say Howard Schnellenberger.
Well, you know, it is Howard Schnellenberger's day. These two teams that you're just joining us playing for the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy in the Ring of Honor here for the great work he did at Miami. The first national championship, that big upset against Nebraska. Plummer throws it away. Schnellenberger was Jeff Brom's coach in Louisville. Great years in his hometown at Louisville, leading the Cardinals. But that is not the correct answer to the Aflac trivia question. Lee Corso.
Wow.
In 1970, when they were in the Missouri Valley Conference, 8-3-1. In his second season as U of L head coach, took them to their second ever bowl game that season. Jawar Jordan. Nothing much there. Matter of fact, a loss on the play. How about the respect both coaches had for Howard Schnellenberger? We talked to them during the week. Mario Cristobal was recruited to Louisville by Howard Schnellenberger. And he said, my mother loved Howard Schnellenberger.
He's obviously had a great impact on the game, and boots iconic. They're bronze. Go to the winner today.
Third down and 11. Plummer's 18 out of 29. Given a nice pocket, and it's batted out of the air by Kiko Maui-Noah.
And a great job by Kiko Maui-Noah, too. His eyes are on Plummer the entire time, deciding whether or not he's going to pressure or drop back. He has that freedom in that defensive line to be able to trigger if he likes it, but nothing was there. The protection was sound. He decides to drop back and makes a play and breaks up the third down attempt.
2 straight 3-and-outs for Louisville on offense. Brashard Smith back for the punt. Brady Hodges' punt is a good one. Fair catch made inside the 25. Trying to take the Canes to 7-4. With one game remaining up at Boston College to close out the year. Play fake. He wanted to launch one deep. It's well covered down the field. And now he just throws it away. And it got shoved down out of bounds by T.J. Quinn, which got some oohs and ahs from the crowd.
And a good decision here by Van Dyke. Nothing there. Doesn't look like much.
It looked worse at the end because he went into the markers on the sideline. He was comfortably in bounds.
I don't have any problem with that. Didn't feel like it was late. Didn't feel like it was malicious. Just a little shove. And if you're the quarterback, you can sell it a little bit. Maybe you get away with it.
When you played, you thought that should have been a penalty.
Oh, I would have jumped sideways out of bounds and tried to land on my head. I mean, I would have sold it like you wouldn't believe.
Mark Fletcher bangs ahead for about 7. Well, let's bring in Matt Austin on the last play. Matt, would you have had a flag?
I would have had a flag, and the reason is he's running away from the defender. The defender has plenty of time to at least slow down. He didn't need to push at the end. Was totally unnecessary, especially into the chain crew. That's a dangerous play. I would have liked roughing the passer.
I'm with Matt. Sorry. Although I admire the fact that you don't think every little touch of a quarterback should be penalized. Fletcher's over 100 yards rushing now. Now he's up and along the sideline. Another big play. He's had 2 runs of more than 20 yards. And that pass play gets them across midfield after a 25-yard gain.
And this is a great little rub action here offensively. You're going to see a pick. That's what it is. Cover 2 man.
Oh boy.
Slot receiver goes in. Riley Williams cleans it up a little bit. And Fletcher's out the gate on the wheel. Probably could have called an OPI, but it looked like Williams continued on with his route after the contact, but got away with one. It turned into a big play.
A big game for the true freshman Fletcher from Fort Lauderdale American Heritage High School. He gets a breather, and Donald Chaney got dropped by Jalen Alderman, the linebacker.
Thing on those rubs and picks. Defense calls them picks. Offense calls them rubs. Is you have to continue on attempting to run the route. It happens all the time. It looked like that time after the initial collision, Williams' eyes went back into the backfield, and the official decided not to call it. So it's a good job there by the freshman selling that route and getting that separation for his running back.
2nd and 10. Not in field goal range. And Van Dyke goes down and did well to hang on to the football as he got planted by Mason Reiger.
And Reiger just goes right around Maui Noah. Didn't get much of a collision at all. Just a really bad pass set there by the outstanding true freshman. He's excellent in the run game, but does at times struggle against speed rushers, and that's exactly what Reiger does. A heck of a job there by Van Dyke hanging onto that football, because that was a big collision that could have easily resulted in a fumble going the other way.
First sack of the game for either team. A 10-yard loss for Miami. Now 3rd and 20 with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Quick screen. And about 9 for Jacoby George. And what will Mario Cristobal do? Long yardage to convert on 4th down. So he was going to play field position and send the punt team on.
I think a wise decision, too. I mean, if you get in maybe a 4th and 6, 4th and 5, you can think about it. But with how your defense is played, it makes sense to just punt it away and play the field position game a little bit against the Cards.
There's a flag before the punt by Dylan Joyce.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 43, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Rocky Shelton out there on the punt team. So it's 4th and 17. Kevin Coleman back at his 13-yard line. Wide snap. Joyce did well to field it and get it off. And the fair catch made at the 11-yard line. 41-yard punt.
Matchups on the outside. Now it's up to the Cardinals quarterback and passing attack to do so.
Slicing through for about 9 yards. Maurice Turner. Well, they're hanging in there, Louisville, on a day when clearly Jamari Thrash is still impacted greatly, negatively, by the hand injury, and Jawar Jordan is basically a deep backup now to Isaac Garendo.
Yeah, it does not seem like he's running with the same level of explosiveness. That knee clearly bothering him.
Turner again, sophomore from Nichols, Georgia. He stepped in for Jordan in the loss at Pittsburgh when Jawar carried only 2 times at a bad hamstring. It was a sloppy field, and Jordan did not play after the opening couple of minutes. Turner wound up rushing for 81 yards against Pitt in what remains the only loss of the season for Louisville. Final seconds of the quarter. Looked like they wanted to run an option, and Reuben Bain said, no, you're not.
Coach, you were just very animated with your quarterback, Jack Plummer. What do you need to see from him in this final quarter to win you this game?
Well, we got to play tougher. I think we just got to, we're losing some confidence right now. We just got to believe in ourselves. We got to play physical. We got to execute. We got to come out. We got to fight this last quarter.
All right, thank you, Coach.
They animatedly told Plummer to pitch the ball on that last play. It was designed to be an option. 2nd down, 10, opening play of the 4th quarter. Miami by 5. Each team has had the lead. Here's a reverse to Jimmy Callaway. Wow. well to stay on his feet as long as he did. Got to the 31. The gain of 6. They'll need 4 more.
Continuing to take advantage of some of the aggressiveness from Miami's defense. They haven't really done as much misdirection here in this half. They had success with that in the first half, but need to get back to it too and take advantage of those speedy linebackers that are flowing over the top.
3rd down and 4. Maurice Turner, the running back, shifted to the right of Plummer. 4 out of 10 and 3rd down. Thrash is in the game. Hasn't been effective with the injured hand. So they dump it off instead to another tight end for a 1st down. It's Josh Lifson with just his 6th catch of the year.
And rinse and repeat. It's been over and over and over again for both teams. Heavy man coverage tendencies for both defense on 3rd down, especially in this line to gain. They go with a little mesh concept. And Lifson's out the back door. The nice easy pitch and catch and a nice run after catch too to convert on 3rd down.
And the tight ends have not been a part of their offense at all prior to today. But Kariski 4 catches and a touchdown. Gatewood had a catch for 11 yards. Now a catch by Lifson. Damari Brown, the big blow to Maurice Turner.
Whew, what a collision. A little corner cat off the left side. Nobody sees Brown. And he goes in and just hammers Maurice Turner right in the backfield. Callaway trying to get a piece of him, but just no chance. Well-timed corner blitz call by Lance Guidry, the defensive coordinator.
True freshman from Plantation, Florida. Another one out of American Heritage High School. He was a 4-star recruit, number 112 in the ESPN top 300. They fake the pitch. They have a man wide open again. It's Gatewood. His 2nd catch. They continue to throw to tight ends. 6 catches this year for Gatewood, 2 of them today.
And just a bust in coverage here by Miami. They're in man coverage, and Bassett goes and comes up to take the running back. Nobody goes with Gatewood on the wheel, and it's an easy catch for the converted quarterback.
For 22 yards. 12 and a half to go. Plummer throws in a single coverage, and Thrash couldn't make an over-the-shoulder catch. With Jaden Davis, the primary cover man, the transfer from Oklahoma.
Pretty good throw there by Jack Plummer. You see he's getting away with a bit of a hold as Jaden Davis has a handful of jersey. Ball's thrown away, and that's one that you would think that if Thrash were at 100%, he would be able to reel that in, but that hand clearly bothering him.
Yeah, it looked like it went right off both hands. On 2nd and 10, a screen for Turner with blockers out in front. 1st down, out of bounds, just shy of the 20. Well, they are in field goal range, but bear in mind they've had field goal problems. They actually switched to Nick Lopez in the 3rd quarter for his 1st attempt as a Louisville Cardinal. As a transfer from Cal, where he was for a couple of years, and attempted only 1 field goal back in 2021. He had a 34-yarder against Arizona. So surprising that he's involved at all. He might be a very key part of this game going forward. 13-yard gain on the screen to Turner. Plummer ran away from pressure, throws on the run, another catch. Gatewood. Well, the coaches told us, Greg, when the pro scouts come to watch Louisville, they ask a lot about Gatewood.
And that was a great job on the scramble drill. Plummer buys a little time. It was not well protected at all. He had some leakage, and Gatewood on the over route. Perfect throw. And 1st and 10 inside the 5-yard line.
Evan Conley comes in running situations. Senior from Marietta, Georgia. Hasn't thrown a pass this year. Run 4 times. That's why he's in there, and he scores. Evan Conley. His 1st touchdown of the season. And they should go for 2 here.
And just a great job. You have one guy going right to left, faking the jet sweep, then you fake the pitch. A lot of movement going in opposite directions, and Conley splits it right up the middle. Makes a guy miss and lunges forward. Does look like both knees are up as he crosses the plane. That was a heck of an effort by their Wildcat quarterback.
They will go for two. Try to make it a 3-point lead. At this juncture, a 2-point lead doesn't do much. They went 89 yards in 11 plays. Isaac Garendo, the running back, on the right hip of Jack Plummer. Thrash the motion man. They swing it out wide to him. Trying to make a move, and he scores. Got away from Jaden Davis. It didn't look promising for Thrash when he caught it. Louisville back on top. Terrific effort by Thrash, using that injured left hand for the stiff arm. Second half for the 4th time this year. Trend that they established in the opener. They're down by 15 against Georgia Tech. And these two teams playing for a new trophy, the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy, debuting this year. These two schools meet for the 16th time. Mark Fletcher with Miami now trailing ahead for about 8. There it is. Good looking trophy. The boots. The actual pair of boots from Coach Schnellenberger with the bronzed. There's a lot of fans of Coach Schnellenberger back in Louisville and here who believe he should be in the College Football Hall of Fame. I believe they have the minimum standard. You have to have won 60% of your games. And like Johnny Majors isn't in as a coach for that reason. And Howard Schnellenberger took over Miami when it was way down, Louisville when it was down. Started the program at FAU. Here's Fletcher out of bounds at the 50-yard line.
Great job in the open field against Cameron Kelly. Makes a guy miss in the backfield, makes Kelly miss, and gets to the edge again. What, Fletcher is going to be a heck of a back here in the years to come. Just a true freshman, 6'2", 225, but with great lateral agility for a guy that's that tall.
Career high today now with 129 after that 18-yard rush. The previous was 115 2 weeks ago in their loss at NC State. Donald Chaney trying to turn the corner, and he gets taken down for a loss by Desmond Tell. Down to 9.5 to go. And Miami does have an outstanding kicker if they get into a situation where they need to try one to tie it. Andy Borregales, one of the best in the country. Chaney remains the running back. Rashard Smith, the motion man. Plenty of time for Van Dyke. Low throw, and it was not rescued by Jacoby George.
Just a little bit off the mark there. Van Dyke's been pretty accurate today. Didn't like anything downfield. Gets to his outlet, the number 3 in the progression, and just a little bit low for George, who tried to corral it.
Emory Williams, who started at quarterback last week for Miami, Florida State. Watching from a box. Van Dyke has played well. 15 to 25 for 176, a touchdown. No turnovers. Needs something on 3rd and 11 into a crowd and caught. And it looked like he was down. He was. Rashard Smith. And now the spot's important, as it always is. The officials conferring. And it looks like they're going to put it on the 39-yard line, the hash mark for a first down.
A really well-timed throw here. Zone coverage drop from Louisville. Need down right at the 39, really close. Probably take a look at that, but that's a tight window throw from Van Dyke, and he fit it in there with good anticipation.
Yeah, they're going to look at this spot.
Ruling on the field is a catch. Previous play is under further review.
After review, the play on the last play stands as called the spot. They didn't see enough to overturn it. So it is to the 39-yard line and a first down for Miami. Louisville wins. They go to the championship game to take on Florida State. Seminoles haven't been since 2014. That's the year Louisville came into the ACC. They've never been in a title game. Miami looking for its second ranked win in 2 seasons under Mario Cristobal on the play. Run down from behind by Cameron Kelly. What a second half he's had as he caught Henry Parrish from behind.
A play they've had a lot of success with. When they motion that tight end down, they kick out that defensive end, but in man coverage, Kelly recognized it, diagnosed it quickly, and chased it down in the backfield for the tackle for loss.
7 tackles for Cameron Kelly. They're right on the verge of field goal range here for Borregales. And now they're a lot closer. Restrepo another catch. First down to the 28-yard line.
Nice decisive throw there from Tyler Van Dyke. Knows exactly where they need to go. Zone coverage, they split in the middle. Restrepo's right there over the ball. He throws a strike between 2 defenders for a nice conversion.
Borregales getting ready. We talked to Mario Cristobal yesterday about Tyler Van Dyke. He said he's going to play football for a long time. So we asked him, well, do you think he's a pro? He said, I know he's a pro. Despite the difficulties in the second half of the year. Quick screen. And Colby Young couldn't get away. Well defended by Louisville for a 1-yard loss. Devin Neal leading the way. The transfer from Baylor. Who's seen a lot of action at safety this year.
That was a great play by Devin Neal. All-out pressure called by defensive coordinator Ron English. He peeled off his guy and beat the offensive lineman to the spot to drop Young for a loss.
Ron English, former head coach at Eastern Michigan. Got fired there, was out of football for 2 years. And really allowed him to take stock of his life. He sends a blitz and it forces a throwaway by Van Dyke. Storming toward the quarterback. Third down and 11, 6:17 to go. They are in field goal range for Borregales.
That's what you got to be thinking if you're Tyler Van Dyke. A couple of consecutive plays called by Ron English that were pressure. That time corner cat, the play before, all-out blitz. I'd expect pressure again. See if they can knock him out of field goal range.
Fletcher, the running back. Louisville crowds the line. And they drop Fletcher for a loss. Crowd doesn't like the call. Gilbert Frierson first there for the Cardinals. And they're still in field goal range for the big leg of Borregales.
Frierson just working right over the middle. They see it. They can't split it. Center blocks to the right. He's untouched. Goes right to the backfield and drops him for a loss.
So Borregales, career long is 55. That tied the Miami record back in 2021. It was against Michigan State. This one's from 51. He's already made 3 this year from beyond 50. How perfect was that? Isaac Garendo back deep. And that's not returnable. Could help boost their resume at Oregon State. ABC primetime action tonight. Plummet roll to his right, throws back across, and it's Nate Kariski. Boy, the tight ends, a non-factor for so much of the year for Louisville, have been huge today. That's 5 catches for Kariski.
Yeah, and they kind of lose track of him a little bit. Booted the quarterback just a hair, sneak him out the back door, and nice gain.
Garendo up the middle. Kariski, Gatewood, and Lifson had combined for 16 catches the entire season coming into today. They have 9 today. And if you add in the catch by the offensive lineman, Javonte Sylvester, his first career catch came into the heavy package and caught a touchdown pass. They'll kind of credit that to the tight end group.
Absolutely. And tight ends have given Miami some fits this year. You think back to what Brenningstool did against him, Clemson's tight end, Jaheim Bell last week. So trend continues today.
2nd and 6, 4.5 to go. And a wide open receiver. It's Kevin Coleman trying to make a move on Kitchens. And he did. Touchdown Louisville. 58 yards. And one of the reasons why he was so free, a couple of Miami players involved in a collision.
Yeah, Jaden Davis and Takori Couch, as Thrash releases inside on a slant, they just collide right into each other. And he's one-on-one against Kitchens.
A 58-yard touchdown by Kevin Coleman's put Louisville back on top, and it is Nick Lopez. Grad transfer from Cal, where he played very little, attempted only 1 field goal a couple of years ago. He came in and made a big field goal here in the second half, and Brock Travelstead scuffled, and now he's made the extra point. There's Travelstead still the kickoff man. But lost the place kicking job for the time being after missing a short field goal and having a low extra point blocked, on top of some difficulties in recent weeks. Rashard Smith trying to go the width of the field, and he almost did. Tackled from behind at the 22 where he had some room. Well, we're waiting.
I've been told Mattress Company.
Yes, a great one, I'm sure. Here's Van Dyke. Deep Restrepo's behind the defense. How can that happen at this juncture? Devin Neal got over to make the tackle, but it's 48 for Miami on the long completion to Restrepo.
And just a great job by Tyler Van Dyke, buying a little time in the pocket, does not get off his spot very often. That time on the move, throws a perfect pass to Restrepo, who gets behind the defense and makes a big play.
6 for 133 after he was shut out. Well, the coaches made a point yesterday to say it wasn't his fault last week. He was open a number of times and they missed him. Nice catch on a throw behind him by Jacoby George. Jalen Alderman took him to the grass.
Heck of a catch here by George. Ball's a little bit behind, but reaches back with that left hand and pulls it in. Somehow keeps some forward momentum.
They, as Mario Cristobal says, don't have anybody who really scares you at the wide receiver position, but George is starting to become that guy. Van Dyke in trouble. Throws down the sideline, threw it away. Over the head of Fletcher. It's Stephen Herron applying the pressure. Transfer from Stanford. He's Louisville's version of Stanford Steve.
And it's an excellent pressure right there by Herron. But a big third down here for Miami. Probably going to look in the direction of Restrepo. He's been the go-to guy today. He's been their most reliable target all season long on third down situations. The last couple trips down here, it's been pressure that's been called by Ron English. That's what I'm anticipating. So I want to find a quick target for my slot receivers with Restrepo.
Probably 4 down territory as well. A little late to kick a field goal, down by 7. Van Dyke throws, caught, first down. Rashard Smith with tight coverage from Quincy Riley. And you never call Riley's name because nobody ever makes a catch near him, but Smith made a big one.
Trying to get Restrepo initially against man. He loses. Forces Van Dyke to buy a little time. A great job of uncovering there late for the conversion. Now does Jeff Brom start to think about some timeouts to preserve some clock.
First charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Miami's won only 2 of its last 6, and both of those wins were in overtime here at Hard Rock Stadium. Louisville hasn't played an overtime game since 2013. Here's a throw to the end zone. Batted away. There is a flag. Intended for Jacoby George. And the coverage from Derek Edwards.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Edwards doesn't play a lot. Redshirt sophomore back in his hometown. He's from Miami.
And great recognition by Van Dyke. Edwards, like you said, does not get a lot of playing time. Storm ducks in. Riley's had to slide inside, so you get a good matchup with your best wide receiver on the perimeter at George in a one-on-one down the field. Edwards has to grab the jersey, and he'll get him a fresh set of downs inside the 5.
He was quite possibly in there because of the targeting ejection to Trey Franklin. First and goal from the 4. Miami trying to tie this one again. It'll be the 4th time the game's been tied. Fletcher knocked down the excellent penetration by one of the best corners in the country. Quincy Riley, the transfer from Middle Tennessee, his 2nd year at the U of L.
Certainly an all-ACC contender, one of the best in college football. And after this play, if you're Miami, you don't want to be in a big hurry. After this play, do you start to think about some timeouts to preserve some clock to potentially give your offense a chance to go down and potentially win it? And then on Miami's sideline, you're thinking about, do we go for 2 potentially in the event in which we score?
Fletcher, the running back. Flat pass, incomplete. And Dyke threw it quickly. It looked like Smith really hadn't turned toward the ball with it in flight. 3rd down and goal.
He has 4-down territory for Miami. 2 downs to get it. Can run it here. If you like the look, I would anticipate pressure from Ron English. That's been his calling card here in the second half. Has ramped it up, gotten more aggressive. See if they maybe try to get a quick throw out to the perimeter.
Fletcher, the running back. 2 receivers to each side. Pressure up the middle. Van Dyke, time in the slant. Incomplete. Too far ahead of Restrepo.
Trying to get Restrepo against outside leverage, but that free safety immediately knew, hey, I got to help with number 7. He's the go-to guy. He was there immediately. Would have been a tight window throw, and it'll set up 4th down.
With 1:33 to go, Miami does have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get this, they could get it back. Oh boy, you don't want to use the timeout now, because now if you don't get it.
Restrepo, he's my fastest guy. I would probably give him a little bit of a motion, get him on the move to soften that coverage, then get him on an out-breaking route to the front corner of the pylon.
One of the biggest plays of the year in the ACC. Louisville trying to win this game and go to the conference championship game. Van Dyke too high for Jacoby George with the great Quincy Riley in coverage, and then George just smacked him in the face. And that's huge because now they're going to get Louisville out of the hole unless Louisville's going to be flagged as well. When the ball sailed by, George went jumping up and down looking for a flag. That wasn't coming.
Play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 3, offense. 15-yard penalty involving 1st and 10 for Louisville. That is number 3's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
That time they did not bring pressure, so Ron English adjusts the tendency there late. Try to work with George against Riley. That's a perfect matchup for Louisville, your best corner.
Doesn't matter. You can't do what he did. So a bad sequence there. They had to waste a timeout, which would be incredibly helpful right now. And then the penalty moves the ball out to the 18. Garendo tackled by Jaden Davis. 1:22 to go and another Miami timeout.
30-second timeout.
Let's take another look at it and see if Jacoby George has a point. Was he being held by the jersey?
Well, they were trying to get Restrepo on the outbreaker. It wasn't there initially because they dropped out. So instead, Van Dyke scans all the way back across the field. Did look like there was a little bit of contact between Riley and George. Might have had a little bit of a hand on the left shoulder, but probably not enough to draw a foul on a 4th and goal situation under 2 minutes.
Matt Austin says not enough to warrant a flag. So now 1:22 to go. The 1 timeout left for Miami. And 2nd and 7 with Garendo, the running back. Had another excellent day, 91 yards rushing, 6.5 per carry. 2 hands on the ball, and Miami will use the last timeout. They'll still have their Commonwealth Cup game against Kentucky next week. Plummer after the fake looked promising, and then he got belted by James Williams. But no timeout to use, and the clock will go well under a minute.
And just a massive collision there between Plummer as Williams delivers a big shot. It's going to drop him a couple yards short of the line to gain, and Jeff Brom will let this clock tick all the way down.
Miami did him a big favor when they used that timeout before the 4th down play on the goal line, so they can take it down another 10 seconds, use the timeout. But there's some around the league who said, well, they didn't play Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina, which might be the 3 best teams in the league, certainly 3 of the very best. But hey, you play who's on your schedule, and nothing should diminish what they are accomplishing. Not the greatest punt. It stops at the 40. Some combatants need to be separated now. Another flag. And regardless of who this is on, it's really dumb.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36, return team. After distance to the goal, the full 15, it'll be 1st down Miami.
Wow.
Push there from Hutchinson.
And then Rashard Smith wasn't involved. I mean,
they're always going to get the second guy too, so he goes over, engages for no reason whatsoever.
Miami players completely losing their poise here down the stretch. Van Dyke to the sideline, to the 35-yard line to Colby Young and out of bounds. Pickup of 10. Louisville hasn't won 10 games in a season since 2013, when they went 12-1 under Charlie Strong. Season that finished actually with a win over Miami in the Russell Athletic Bowl in Orlando.
Trying to determine if Colby Young was in bounds when he secured that catch. It looked like the left foot was in, but is the right foot down simultaneously out of bounds?
That might have been what Jeff Brom was speaking to the officials about.
Further review, the ruling up on the field of a catch stands. 1st down Miami.
Mario Cristobal May did not take a knee when they were going to be 5-0. Certainly changed dramatically since. This will be 5 losses in 7, starting with Georgia Tech, if they can't pull off the miracle. Restrepo trying to get to the sideline. Restrepo does. Right at the 50-yard line. Chance for one more heave. Now the Miami fans in sideline want a penalty against Louisville. Restrepo's 7th catch for 148. So probably just a chance for one more heave into the end zone. 3 receivers to the right. Louisville with a crowd back near the goal line. Van Dyke up in the air all the way to the goal line.